Back to the memoirs of a little girl with big ideas. The adventures. This is chapter 7. What was my strategy to start my journey? First, I overcame my shyness. Second, I learned and practiced making friends, especially some in faraway places. Third, I figured out how to do everything I wanted to do by managing the one time-consuming thing I could not control, my sleep, to maximize effectiveness in studying. Several important life lessons came as gifts to me through reading books I owned and those borrowed from the library. I've already named the Grimm's fairy tales, The Adventures of Explorers, The Power of Positive Thinking, and A Young Person's Version of Winning Friends. Thus, when not part of the in or popular crowd in junior high school, not surprisingly, because I was a newcomer, having come from a small rural town to this suburban area, I was not cool like my sister, nor athletic. I was chubbier than ideal, probably thought of as a brain, probably to others, although I knew I still had lots to learn, and well, not popular. So that gave me a chance to make other friends. There was no point in pushing against those who did not want me to expand me into their circle of friends. Instead, I made a point to sincerely welcome anyone new to our junior high school. Initially, my two new friends in 7th and 8th grade were girls who were very shy, even more than myself. We had lunch together, chatted during recess breaks, but except for our shyness and being in the same grade level, we did not share any of our classes. In other words, there was not much to sustain our friendship. I began joining various school activities different than theirs, or maybe they weren't in any, and thereby expanding my circle of friendships and losing some of my own shyness. By my last year in junior high school, which at that time was 9th grade, I continued my 3rd year actively serving in student government and related committees, school plays, even winning a playwriting contest. I recall facing the looming deadline the night before the deadline for submission, and I decided to give up a few hours of sleep to write my one-act Christmas play. I'm glad that I did. I won! Before getting too smug, I should reveal that I was the only one to enter the contest. Nonetheless, I got to cast the play, direct and produce my own one-act play shown to the entire student body. Accomplishment is a very natural high. This became one of many important life lessons. If you do not try, you cannot win. And to the contrary, if you don't try, you've already lost. Another life lesson was to remember it is not so much what happens to one in life, but how one reacts to it. When the very same difficulty strikes, some give up, some suffer through, while others double their efforts to overcome the setback by working harder and smarter. Often, necessity becomes the mother of invention. For myself, when I entered a world of a large junior high school with cliques of friends from elementary school years who shunned me, I chose to befriend newcomers and others who were alone. Sometimes we had little in common other than both feeling alone. This was true initially, but in my last year, 9th grade and junior high, 2 newcomers, Priscilla Ide and Kay Hobart, whom I welcomed and befriended, became my lifelong good friends. We shared many good times in high school, went our separate ways to different colleges, married, and lived in different places. Yet Although only occasionally being in touch due to the distance and time, our friendships have endured, renewing periodically throughout more than half a century. Friendships, popularity, and acceptance are important to us in our teen years. Nonetheless, by the time I moved on to high school, I was realizing that mutual friendships were more treasured than hanging out with the most popular kids in school. Besides, I lived with, more than that, I shared a bedroom with the number one, no question, most popular girl at school, my younger sister Sandy, and by association knew her friends. I still recall one of the sweetest things Sandy ever shared with me. We were seated in our family room, our TV room. In a moment of true tenderness and caring, Sandy took us from the top of our head down to our toes, comparing each of our features. She pointed out that my eyebrows were naturally perfectly arched, while hers stuck out, needing plucking at the centers. Moving downward, there was no contest. Sandy's bright blue eyes and button nose were clear winners. Sandy's figure was more classically hourglass, yet her legs were bowed, while mine, although short, were sculptured shapely with trim ankles. They call them pony ankles. Sandy helped to boast my self-confidence. However, it was not until I moved away to college and out from under the radiance of her popularity shadow that I finally felt that I too could be popular. My circle of closer friendships in our Huntington High School of 1,500 students was not, there were 350 in my high school class, my circle was not with the most popular, unlike my sister, the cheerleaders, the athletic heroes, the most popular prom kings and queens. 2 class years younger, those high school idols represented my sister's crowd, crowning her as their senior class president and keynote speaker at graduation. My friends were equally accomplished. We were all in leadership and student government. A few of my male classmates were also captains of sports teams. Mostly, my friends were in class theatrical plays, the school newspaper, yearbook, and varied clubs. Some sang and played in band, although I did not. We all emphasized our studies, focused our futures on our first getting a college degree, deferring love attachments while enjoying affection, and enjoying our high school years. Fortunate for us, our township implemented then Harvard President James Conant's ideal for high school, one that is comprehensive by offering academically oriented classes, including college advanced placement courses, which was new at that time, as well as vocational opportunities in airplane mechanics, typing, and practical nursing with equal dignity. I really like that. It was inspiring to me that the pin ceremony for the award ceremony for the practical nurses, or giving them their pin, the graduating, was as solemn as the one for the National Honor Society. Strategies to implement my journey, my goal of traveling, were well underway by my junior year in high school. The next question became where to go to college. Living just 40 miles east of the Big Apple, New York City, there was no lack of good, might I say, great colleges and universities in the area. My father had graduated from the prestigious Ivy League Columbia University. Columbia was male only, but the other Ivy League schools each had its sister affiliate nearby. With top grades, advanced college prep courses, and a stellar extracurricular resume, my high school teachers encouraged me to apply to their top favorites. My focus for college was more on traveling further away, beginning that new adventure in my life. There was a lot to consider, and I wanted to keep a focus on my own priorities. Which would I choose?